Hi everyone. Today, we'll take a closer look at a beautiful example of 18th century Danish shipbuilding, the Princess Sophia Magdalena, a 60-gun ship of the line built for the Royal Danish Navy. This warship was constructed at the famous Nyholm naval dockyard in Copenhagen, Denmark, under the direction of the shipbuilder Frederik Michael Krabbe, one of the most talented naval architects of his time. Her keel was laid on March 4, 1762, she was launched on April 16, 1763, and finally completed and delivered to the fleet in March 1765. The Princess Sophia Magdalena represents a typical Danish ship of the line from the mid-18th century, built during a time when Denmark sought to modernize its navy, taking inspiration from the great maritime powers of Europe, especially Britain and France. She was designed not only for strength and endurance, but also for elegance, a reflection of the Danish naval tradition that valued craftsmanship as much as combat capability. The ship's plans, preserved in the Danish National Archives, are a wonderful example of the precision and artistry of the era. They include theoretical drafts, body plans, sectional drawings, deck layouts, rigging and sail plans, and even details of the ship's decorative carvings, all executed with remarkable accuracy. Many of these historical drawings were approved by royal signature, showing the personal involvement of the Danish monarch in naval affairs. In her dimensions, the Princess Sophia Magdalena measured 157 Danish feet in length, 42 feet and 6 inches in beam, and a draft of about 19 feet, which corresponds roughly to 49 meters long, 13 meters wide, and a draft of 5.8 meters in modern measurements. She carried a crew of 512 men, officers, sailors, and marines. Her sister ship, the Princess Wilhelmine Caroline, was built to the same design, reflecting the consistency of Krabbe's shipbuilding philosophy. The ship Princess Sophia Magdalena was named in honor of Princess Sophia Magdalena of Denmark, the daughter of King Frederik V and Queen Louise. She became the wife of Prince Gustav of Sweden, who later ascended the throne as King Gustav III. This choice of name was far from random. It reflected the close diplomatic and dynastic ties between Denmark and Sweden, two neighboring kingdoms that, after centuries of rivalry, sought a new era of peace and mutual respect in the mid-18th century. By naming a powerful ship of the line after the Danish princess who would one day become Queen of Sweden, the Danish court symbolized this renewed friendship between the northern crowns. Princess Sophia Magdalena herself was known for her grace, modesty, and deep religious devotion. Raised in the refined and cultured environment of the Danish court, she embodied the ideals of duty and virtue that were highly valued in the Age of Enlightenment. When she married Prince Gustav in 1766, their union was celebrated as a hopeful alliance, one that would strengthen political and cultural bonds across the Øresund Strait. As Queen of Sweden, Sophia Magdalena led a life marked by quiet dignity rather than public ambition. She was a patron of the arts, education, and charity, and despite the personal distance that developed between her and Gustav, she remained a symbol of stability and moral strength for the Swedish people. Her influence was subtle but lasting, a reminder of the softer, human side of royal power in an age often defined by politics and war. So when the Princess Sophia Magdalena set sail in the Danish fleet, her name carried more than just royal prestige. It was a message of diplomacy, culture, and peace, a graceful tribute to a princess whose life connected two Nordic nations. Today, as we look at the ship's beautifully preserved plans and design, we are reminded not only of the art of shipbuilding, but also of the art of understanding and cooperation between nations, values that the name Sophia Magdalena continues to represent. After her launch, the Princess Sophia Magdalena never took part in any naval battles, for during this period, Denmark maintained a policy of neutrality. She belonged to the class of 60-gun ships of the line, the backbone of many smaller European fleets in the mid-18th century. Unlike the heavier 74-gun warships of the great powers, the Sophia Magdalena had a shallower draft, perfectly suited for the narrow Danish straits and the shallow waters of the Baltic Sea. Her role was not conquest, but protection, to guard the coasts, train new seamen, and display the power of the Danish crown at sea. She served in the neutral fleet, a defensive force that safeguarded Denmark's vital trade routes. After about 16 years of service, the Princess Sophia Magdalena was decommissioned on October 4, 1781. Her wooden hull had grown tired, and the design that once embodied Danish pride had become obsolete in a rapidly changing naval world. Yet her name and her plans survive, a reminder of an age when ships were not only weapons or machines, but graceful instruments of exploration, diplomacy, and trade. We can still trace the craftsmanship, ambition, and quiet elegance of 18th-century Danish shipbuilding, a lasting legacy of the nation's golden maritime tradition. I also want to tell you about another ship. There was another vessel with a similar name, Dronning Sophia Magdalena, launched in 1762. The word princess means princess, while Dronning means queen, two different royal titles, and indeed, two very different ships. The Princess Sophia Magdalena of 1763, the subject of our story today, was a 60-gun ship of the line, built for the Royal Danish Navy, a warship designed for defense, training, and diplomacy. But the Dronning Sophia Magdalena was not a warship at all. She was a merchant vessel owned by the Danish Asiatic Company, and she sailed on some of the most dangerous and ambitious voyages of the 18th century. Over nearly 30 years of service, the Dronning Sophia Magdalena made 10 expeditions to Tranquebar in India and to Canton, today's Guangzhou, in China. Each journey took many months, crossing half the globe through storms, heat, and the ever-present risk of disease or shipwreck. These two ships, though they shared a royal name, belonged to two different worlds, one to the navy, and one to trade. Together, they represent the dual strength of Denmark in the 18th century, a nation of sailors, merchants, and shipbuilders, balancing diplomacy, defense, and exploration. Thanks for watching.